Hello, I'm Catherine Maguire. Welcome to the Soul Alchemist Podcast. If you are on a journey of personal or spiritual growth, you are in the right place. It's my desire each week to offer you wisdom, inspiration, and practical tools to help you remember the very essence, the glorious essence of who you truly are and reconnect to your inner gold. Welcome. Whether you're here for the first time listening to the podcast or you're returning, welcome. It's lovely to have you back on what is the first podcast of 2026. Happy New Year. And I have a gorgeous podcast for you today. Not only do I have a gorgeous podcast, we have a bonus episode. I have a lovely meditation that goes along with this podcast. I do have a bit of cold today, so if I sound a bit congested or sniffly, that is why. But it is the most glorious day in southern Italy today. It's cold, but crisp and clear. I was out walking my dog this morning, and from the piazza, you can see all the way down the mountain to the coast, to the Tyrrhenian Sea. And this morning from the piazza, not only could I see the sea, I could see Stromboli, one of the Aeolian islands off the coast of Sicily. It was such a fabulous sight. Really, oh my goodness, so expansive, so enlivening this morning. Really lovely. And it was so perfect because it was so aligned to the theme of what I want to talk about today, which is clarity. So clarity is something that's, it's near and dear to my heart, but it also comes up with my clients so often. So I wanted to talk about today because I think starting into the new year, we're always looking for some clarity. What do I want? How do I want my year to go? What's the intention I want to bring this to this year? What's the word, the energy pulse I want to bring to the year? And for that, we need clarity. And invariably, we look for clarity in the wrong place. And then when we do get it, we doubt it. And I've seen that time and time and time again with my clients over, the best part of 30 years, especially when I've done hundreds and hundreds of soul readings over the years, and women will come with their questions and they're looking for clarity on something. And then I'll give them that clarity and they'll say to me, Catherine, I kind of knew that. So we get the clarity. It doesn't arrive in the way we thought it was going to arrive, and then we doubt it. So I want to unpack that today so that hopefully you'll go away being more certain in your clarity. And also the meditation this week is to help you to connect to your own clarity in a new way. So clarity is a bit like the beautiful day outside. It's clear. You can see there's no obstacles. There's no veil. There's no filter on the lens of your being. You go, yeah, that's it. That's it. And often when we're looking for clarity, we do what we've been trained to do since small children. We run up into our mind and we mistake logic from clarity for clarity. We try to logic something out. And it's, well, if I do this, and then if I do that, and I do that, and that'll be it. And then if you can't get, the clarity up there in your mind, you kind of run around in circles trying to figure something out. Or you might decide, okay, logically, that's the thing to do. And then you use your logic to convince yourself that the logic you've agreed to is logical. Have you been there? I'm pretty sure you have. We all have. Clarity is different. Clarity is a deep knowing in your being, in your body. Clarity happens much lower down. And it arrives through your senses, through your sense of smell, your sense of touch, your sense of sight, your sense of taste, your sense of knowing. It's a deep body sense. You may then, based on that sensorial experience, receive a knowing in your mind, but that happens afterwards. The clarity comes to your body first. So, it sounds really simple, but we've been kind of taught to, not trust our body, trust the mind over the body. And we live in a very linear, logical world, and that's okay. And the mind is amazing. I love my mind. My mind does amazing things. But if you want clarity, that's probably not where you're going to find it. All right. And we have to retrain ourselves and learn to trust the body again, learn to trust our senses. There's a beautiful, beautiful phrase if you've ever read Mary Oliver's The Wild Geese poem, it's really gorgeous. And there's a beautiful phrase from it, which is the soft animal of your body. the soft animal of your body. Isn't that gorgeous? And that's where clarity comes from. That's where you will get that deep sense of knowing. And, to give you an example, I've spoken about this before in previous episodes when I got engaged to my first husband, but when I got engaged to my first husband, I've told the story. We were on the top of the Eiffel Tower in Paris, and he asked me to marry him. And my being, my knowing, said no. My mouth said yes. And my mouth said yes, and then I logicked out all the reasons. Well, we were in our 30s, we're together over a decade, all our friends are getting married. We have a house together, we have a life together, my family loves them. All those things. It made logical sense to get married. And that's what we did. And it didn't last very long. All right. Because in my being, I knew that wasn't my truth. That wasn't what I was supposed to do, but I went against it. All right. And then the marriage fell apart. Fast forward some time, and I met Vincent. All right. And Vincent asked me to marry him. And my being said yes, but my logic said no. My logic was, he's separated. I'm separated. He's got kids. He's older than me. We've got a lot of baggage going into this. This isn't going to work. We're different people. We want, we live different lives. But my being said yes. So this time I had learned, and I said yes. And 20 years later, we're still together. We've been together for 20 years. So logic is logic, and there's a place for it. But knowing and clarity comes from your being. It comes from your body. All right. And clarity is not always comfortable. Let me say that again. Clarity is not always comfortable. The reason we try to make things logical is we're looking for a clean solution. That's why we go up into our mind. I would like a clean solution to this problem, issue, whatever it is, that, doesn't cause me to get my hands dirty, doesn't cause me to upset anyone, doesn't cause me to kind of lose face, whatever it is. That's why we go up into logic. But the truth of it is, clarity is not necessarily clean. Sometimes it can be messy, but it's true. It's true. And that's, what I've seen so many times with my clients. They get that clarity, they get that deep knowing, and they talk themselves out of it. They doubt their own clarity, because here's the thing about clarity. It's not logical. It's not linear. It's not clean. It can be a bit messy, and it can seem totally irrationally out of the park. So you doubt it. And you leave it behind, and then you go on with what's logical. And then eventually you will have to fall on your arse, excuse my French, and go, wow, that might have been logical, but it wasn't the right solution. A bit like me in my first marriage. And then you're going to have to kind of pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and go again. Okay. The beautiful thing about clarity, true clarity that comes from your being, that comes from your body, is it opens you up to possibility. It opens you up to things that your logical mind can't even come up with. Clarity opens you to the universe. It opens you to magic. It opens you to the ability to manifest. It opens you to possibilities and avenues and opportunities that you couldn't even in your wildest logical dreams come up with. Clarity is where all the fun is. All right. So my invitation to you today is to think about this. How do you go through life? Do you go through life very invested in logic? And like I say, there's nothing wrong with logic. There is nothing wrong with it, but it's very limited. It's very limited. There's a place for it, but it's very limited. It's very linear, but it's how we've been trained. That's how we were trained in school. So it's not about giving yourself a hard time from it. It's just going, wow, okay, that's how I engage with life. Or do you go to a place from a sense of clarity, from a sense of deep body knowing? Or do you go through life from a place of having a deep sense of body knowing, a deep sense of clarity, and talking yourself out of it time and time again because it's not logical and maybe it's a bit messy and maybe there will be some fallout? What's your truth? And chances are it's a combination of all three. Chances are it's a combination of all those things. So, my invitation to you today is to ask you, as we step into a new year, a new calendar year, would you be willing to build a relationship with the soft animal of your body, with your sense of deeper knowing, to give you clarity for the year ahead? And if the answer to that is yes, I have the most delicious meditation for you. And if you find that a little scary, if you find that a little scary to come down out of your mind and into your body and trust the soft animal of your body, but there's a curiosity there, I have a mantra for you. And the mantra is this: I am willing to reclaim my trust in myself. I am willing to reclaim my trust in myself. One more time. I am willing to reclaim my trust in myself. It's a new year. And I'm not someone for let's change ourselves to, totally transform ourselves because it's a new year. New year for me is an opportunity, an invitation. Can I step into myself even more deeply in the year ahead? And clarity is a way to do that, because to get clear, we step into our being, into our body, and learn to trust truly and deeply ourselves. So I wish you an absolutely gorgeous week. Remember to check out the bonus episode, because I'm going to give you a beautiful meditation to put all this into practice. If you're really having a hard time with clarity, struggling with clarity, whether you're really finding resistance to come into your body, you're really, there's a battle between you and your logical mind and your body, or there's something you really need help seeking clarity on and you're doubting yourself, get in touch about my one-to-one clarity sessions. I'm right here, Catherine at CatherineMaguire.com. But for today, I wish you a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. I wish you a day filled with possibility. I wish you a day filled with trust in yourself. And I wish you a day where you know for a moment the beautiful, soft animal of your body, and that she or he is a wise, wise soul. Check out the meditation. Let me know how you get on. I love you lots. Slán agus ciao.